So our topic this morning is developing competencies for performance planning. Developing competencies for performance planning. I remain Dr. Mike Inyezo. This subject, we need to look at it first of all from the components that make up the topic, and then from there we move on. Competence has so much to do with qualifying for a thing. Qualifying for a thing. Being qualified to do an act. Most time when people talk about competence, they mean you are qualified to do an act or a thing, or an assignment or a task or a project. Now, what makes you to qualify to do a thing? Most time people gauge it on qualification, but a certificate qualification, but that is erroneous and that is wrong. But when we talk about somebody being competent, it simply encompasses the skill the person has in doing it, the skill, the behavior the person displays that shows that he can do it, the knowledge the person has. It is this knowledge that most times is certificated, and that is the one that normally leads people to the error. So these things that make people to qualify also include the fourth one, which mostly I don't like to flag because of not allowing people to abuse it. This fourth group have to do with things I can call giftedness. There are certain things people do. You discover they're doing it not because they have the skill or because they have the knowledge, but you discover that this person is uncommonly gifted. You must have heard of that word, uncommonly gifted. The person is uncommonly gifted. Either that the person is uncommonly gifted naturally, we call it talent, or uncommonly gifted spiritually, we call it grace. Have you seen people say that this person has a grace for doing this thing? Okay, that means the person is gifted beyond natural, what you can explain natural. It means giftedness. So certain people do certain things. You don't need to be told that this is not ordinary, that this is giftedness. Let me give you a typical example. I belong to one platform. Yesterday, we raised funds to help certain people who are having challenges, extra challenges. Everybody now is having challenge, but there are people that you know that their challenge is extra challenge. So we raise funds to help them in our platform. And somebody felt too bad the way people were categorized and the way the funds were not made to be uniform. And he was sending voicemails, this and that, trying to make everybody feel bad, trying to cause a dissension or a faction. So certain person also have talked, but I decided to put a voice. When I put up a voice, everything watered down. Everybody now was referring that the matter is over, having heard from me. But ask me, what did I say? It doesn't look special to me what I said. But I see this grace over and over. That whenever I put my voice in a matter, it dies there. Did I read it somewhere? I don't think I have read it anywhere. What happened? Did I have that skill? I don't think it's a skill. But you can say that this is giftedness. You don't have to swim into a troubled water and the troubled water gets cool. So that is the fourth competence variable, but you can put it in a bracket so that it is not overflowed. This other one is what we call intuition. Intuition is what people call gut feeling, G-U-T. Sometimes you're passing through a place, it seems as if there will be danger, or it seems as if something will happen, and your body kind of creates a goose feeling. You know what I call goose feeling? You feel somehow. You feel there is a danger, and you take a decision. Now, what is happening? You didn't read that thing from any signboard or anywhere that there will be danger, but something inside of you have told you something to a kind of be guided. So, for instance, somebody is talking to you, something told you that what this person is saying is a lie. Where did you read it? Nowhere. But something spoke to you that this is wrong. Most things the judges do in the court is that they work with what we call dimiano. As you're presenting your matter, they are looking at you. They are trying to look beyond paper and what is written on the constitution and know whether you're saying the truth or not saying. Even whether you're saying the truth or not, they also go extra length to use their own sense to award the case the way they like it or to whoever they like it. So you don't necessarily win because you're wrong or right, but depends on the who the judge want to favor. And that may based on the demand he sees you. You may check out these words in the dictionary, if you don't know them. Okay, so these things put together form in block what we say competent. This person is competent to do this. So what it means now is that we need to look at how to develop these things I have mentioned in the people, in the organization. And the thing again means the skill, the behavior, the knowledge, the guts, the giftedness. Are you getting it? Now, if these are well developed, then we need to set goals. It will help us to set goals, to assess performance of the people that are working, and to guide individuals and the teams. These are skills we need to develop in people. These are skills. When you go back to organization now, you think of how will I develop entire organization on these skills, so that when they look at somebody to assess how he is working, they will be able to know whether the person is working well according to you or not, because they have now had the skills to judge this matter. Now, I put a thing like this. I say in systematically developing these competencies, you can enhance your ability to plan and manage performance effectively. Effectively means getting results. It means achieving results. The word effective means achieving results. It also means doing the right thing. So if you can develop these competencies, remember those competencies, don't forget them, you can enhance your ability, your own ability to manage performance in your organization effectively and achieve results, ensuring that there is an alignment with your organizational goals and the alignment also with your own personal goal. You have a personal goal. First of all, you live before the organization. True or false? So you have a goal first before organizational goal. True or false? And everything you are doing is jointly both your organizational goal and your individual growth, because you must grow. Now, this strategy begins with number one. I told you I like to talk in terms of strategy. I told you that strategy means the master game plan in which you use in outwitting the competitor or the opponent. So number one strategy is understand the organizational goal. I take it again, understand the organizational goal. I know your company has goal. True or false? Can you remember some? You can't remember them, but do you know it's supposed to be ringing like a music in your head? Are you aware? They don't flag it every time in your organization, true or false, and it is wrong. Every organization is supposed to be flagging their goal in the head of the people working with them, including their vision, including their mission. That's why they put it on the, what do they call it? They put it on notices, so that anytime you come, you will see our organization mission, our organization vision, and our organization goals. You saw the one of this organization in the other room. The other time we were in the other room, in the other classroom. Now, you must understand the organizational goal, and you will now align these competencies we are talking of: your skill, your knowledge, your ability, your giftedness, and you must align it in line with the mission of the organization. Mission means why your organization is existing. You are aware of that. Mission means the reason why you exist. Another word for mission is purpose. The original intention in which your organization is set for. That is the mission. And that is what they put in the mission statement. To provide service for so, or to provide product, or to provide whatever. Now, you must also align it with the vision. That is where your organization wants to be in the next 100 years, in the next 50 years, whatever. That is your vision, in your vision. And then your strategic objective. What do you want to be achieving year by year, 2 yearsly, and also 5 yearsly, or whatever. What you want to be achieving, that is called objectives. When you break your visions into pieces, it becomes objectives. So you must understand. Skill is number one that you must have is understanding your organizational goal. That means you need to give a lot of thinking to it. A lot of thinking, a lot of meditation to really understand where your organization is standing, where it is also heading for. If you don't know where your organization is standing and where it is heading for, you have not known the skill. You have also not get the knowledge. Knowledge is being broken down into know-how, which is mostly what people know. But knowledge also includes know why, know what, know who, know where, and know when. So you must know why your organization is existing. You must know where it is existing. You have now known where it is existing. You must know when it is existing. You must know who is existing. You must know how. So identify specific skill and knowledge and behavior that are required to meet this skill. That is strategy number one. I go into strategy number two. Identify the core competencies relevant in planning. Now, I don't know whether you have attended any course on planning. One of the skills in planning is goal setting. Goal setting. Now, identify core competencies. There are core competencies that must have by your people that can make them good planners, because these are core competencies that are needed in performance appraisal, performance review of performances. One is goal setting. Every person must know how to set goals. Every person is expected to learn how to set goals. And when we talk about goals that are relevant and goals that are good, these are goals that are SMART in nature. SMART. SMART means specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. That is the acronym called SMART. So goal setting must be a core competence. The question now is, how are you going to teach your colleagues how to set goals? That is what we said now, that you must identify core competencies. Number two is performance measurement. These are skills that are needed in tracking progress and using metrics to evaluate outcomes. Performance measurement. Anything that cannot be measured cannot be managed. You must know how to measure the work that your colleagues are doing, the work that your people in your company are doing, if you are really managing their human resources. So that core skill, you must be able to identify it. And I know that when they taught you performance yesterday, you must have learned the skills that are the things that you measure when you're measuring performance. Then another skill is communication, because when you're going to measure performance among people, you are going to be talking to them and you're also going to be listening to them. So there must be a good communication skill, or yes, a good communication skill to enable you communicate and also to receive from the people you are communicating to. If you don't communicate well, you can create trouble. Did you get it? Okay, so there must be identification of this, and then problem solving skill. That means in course of your performance management system, there must be problem solving. Many problems must be solved along the line, so you must identify and resolve performance gaps. The difference between what an employee has done and what he's supposed to done is called a gap. Why did you not do this? He is supposed to have done 80%. He did 70. That means there is a gap of 10. The issue is what happened, why you did not achieve this 10 also. So you must know how to identify and resolve that performance gap. We call it performance gap. The other core competency skill you must identify from the people, from your people, is coaching and guiding them to improve them to grow. Coaching and mentoring is a critical skill in performance management, because not one person does performance. Every boss is involved with performance management. So before they embark on performance management annually, every one of them is supposed to be brought together, and you teach them, you coach them on how to, and guide them on how to do performance management system. The third skill, we are looking at skill, knowledge, and behavior. Remember, the competencies that you will get from your people, the competencies that you must develop in them if they will do the work with you as performance management system people. You must also identify this competence, providing training and development. You must conduct workshop on effective performance planning techniques. Now, you will learn the techniques as one of the last things today. But then, before each time in the year you perform it, I don't know whether you people use December or January or whatever. Before you people perform, you must conduct a workshop to them on how to conduct effective performance planning techniques, so that they will be refreshed if they have known it before, or they will now know it if they have not known it before, on how to do performance planning and get a good result. Otherwise, it will be an opportunity for them to fight. It will be an opportunity to create a fight between the subordinate and the manager. And the subordinate may feel that the manager intentionally may not want to promote him. Therefore, he may decide to play the worst, either to bust him in the nose or to kill him. Or the manager will also want to use that opportunity to demote him, since maybe he has not been playing along. But then it is your duty to conduct a workshop for them before that time and teach them the rules, so that they understand why, so that the subordinate will understand why a manager may take this position, and the manager will also understand why a subordinate may also take this position. This you must do it before planning section start any of the year. In the year you people do it. Do you people do it annually or once, 2 times in a year? Once in a year. Which month do you people normally use? And February, okay. Now that means maybe you have to conduct it by January, and then give them a 2-day, 3-day talk on how to do it. And if you cannot do it, you can get a speaker outside to come and talk to them on that, on how you people want to conduct it, so that when they now start, because every boss is going to be involved, every supervisor, every manager, including every staff also, because every staff should be appraised. Now, number 2, under this providing training and development, that you must also offer e-learning modules or in-person training. Either, depending on the way your organization is going. If they like e-training, you can also use e-learning. You can also use e-learning, or you can also use in-person training. Use the master point of your company or conference room and run training for them, and put it on projector on what you expect them to do. This is what you are going to teach them, is techniques on how to run effective management planning. You can also one of the things you are going to let them know in that training is how to manage time, so they don't waste their time on one person, and how to prioritize the skill. Among 10 skills that Mr. Kunle is supposed to do, which one should be number 1? Which one should be important one, and which one should not be important? So you teach them how to prioritize the skill. Among the 3 things that they're supposed to be doing as account officer, among the 3 things, which one should be the main thing we should judge and that with? Not all of the things. That is called prioritization. You teach them how to prioritize what should be taken and what should be ignored. You teach them also analytical skill. How do I see what prayer is doing, and be able to know that prayer is serious? Is he really thinking well? These are what you should teach them in this apart from after teaching them the other one. Fourth strategy is, the fourth competence is this, sorry. You should also develop in them behavioral skills. Behavioral skill is a venting skill. That is a skill that helps you to push out what is inside of you. Behavior is one of the ways somebody shows his attitude. There are three ways you display your attitude. One is by belief system, one is by feeling, and the other one is by behavior. And every attitude mostly are expressed in somebody's behavior. Whenever somebody is behaving, he is showing you a bit of his attitude. Do you get that point? Okay. So you have to develop a behavioral skills. In other words, I'm mentioning attitude indirectly. Did you get that point? Teach them, develop that in them. Train your leaders, train your employees, train your supervisors, train your managers and employees. Interpersonal skill, including active listening, empathy, and conflict resolution. These are what you should also train them. Remember, HRM is the hub of training of any organization. You should make sure that your training department is up and doing. You should also take it up and make sure that you engage in a lot of capacity development in training people. Are you getting it? Oftentimes also, almost every 2 or 3 months, you make sure you attend one training yourself. So that you will have so much to teach them when you get back to the base. Okay. Now, develop that. Number 2 is under that point, the developing behavioral skill is encourage collaborative skills to foster teamwork. You know what they call collaborative skills of working together so that you foster teamwork during the planning processes. The 5th competence you are going to develop is implement tools and framework. We are living in the world of tools. We are living in the world of tools. Everything is a tool. In fact, Oyibo don't do performance, and this is the way most Nigerians are doing it. They use softwares. They use softwares and put you. That was why that is what we do when we want to assess people's skill. We put them online. Using that our strength finder. We log into the site, and then the person go through questionnaires, and from there we pick the person's skill. Now we come back to that book, and if somebody have this skill now, see the way it should be observed, see the direction it will be going, because there are 34 skills, there are the 4 teams being discussed, and that covers in the whole world. Wherever your strength must fall, it must fall in any of the 34 teams. So you now use these tools. Some of these tools are what you can buy. Organization buys them. Or some of them are subscribable. The organization subscribe for it 4 years, 5 years, 1 year. And when they subscribe it, it becomes a tool for checking your employees' strength. It becomes a tool for analyzing your strength. It becomes a tool for knowing where best they should go. Which department they will be most useful or most profitably engaged. So you develop the tools and also framework. In this case also, you discover that almost every employee or most supervisors will go through these tools training. How to use those tools, and they can easily use it because they use the app in their phones. When you meet a NEPA staff and you want to do something for you, he's using the app on his phone. So every staff is supposed to know how to use the app on his phone. True of us, when you meet a police on the road, he's using the traffic app on his phone. Why? It is the way the world is going. The world is now using tools to solve problems. And then frameworks. Use frameworks like balanced scorecard. I'm going to teach you this later. Balanced scorecard and objective key result, OKR, to standardize your goal setting and assessment. Now, the 6th competence. Remember, we are developing our competence, and remember what I told you. This competence can come in form of your strength, your ability, your knowledge, your intuition. Remember, then your all those things. So these are what we are developing. This 6th one we are developing now is encourage self-assessment. You have to encourage in the people self-assessment, now how to assess themselves. Because one of the things you will do when you are running PMS, performance management system, is that you will ask the people to appraise themselves. Appraise yourself in a score, in a scale of 1 to 10. Score yourself on this. Score yourself on delivery. Score yourself on discipline. Score yourself on punctuality. Score yourself on whatever. So the people should also have a way to assess themselves. You encourage them to know how to assess themselves objectively. And then the person assessing them also should know how to assess them. Not every manager knows how to score people. Not every lecturer knows how to score people. There are lecturers that score people 90 over 90. Are you getting it? As long as they are concerned, they don't know how to apportion mark. And there are lecturers also, their 90 over 90 can mean some other person's 9 over 90. So scoring are also a skill. Many people don't know how to score people objectively. So encourage the people to know how to do self-assessment well and how to evaluate their strength. I keep hammering on this strength, weakness, and area for improvement. Area for improvement. Number 2, provide tools like self-assessment questionnaire to help them reflect on their competencies. Provide tools if you need to. Now, if you get to some of these sites that encourage you on finding strength, they can give you self-assessment questionnaire form that you can be sending to your staff to know how to assess their. And you can also be using it once in 3 months. You do company-wide self-assessment of people, or once in 2 times in a year. In this way, organization is really working, and they can see what you are contributing. Do you think you understand it? Okay, they will now know that you are really doing it. HRM work is very, very practical. Too many people think that it is a theory. And when HRM people don't know what they are doing, they specialize in writing queries, which is stupid thing. Writing queries and signing leave allowance, medical, this thing. That is frivolous. That's not their major work. That is even 1 of 100 of their work. Their major work is this thing I'm talking. To make sure that your organization have a capacity. Everything your organization is producing, whether 100% sell, depends on the strength of the people. If the strength of the people are there, all those things you're seeing is effects. The cause of those things are the strength. The cause of those things is what the people are bringing. The cause of what you're getting now is me, what I'm bringing. Not, oh, we run 10 training. No, that is called effects. If there was no strength to that, if you run 10 training today, you can't run 1 tomorrow. Because people will say you don't have the capacity. Are you getting it? So what helps your organization is the strength or you are developing for the workforce. It's the strength you're developing for the workforce. Repeatedly, every day you're coming up with something new to enhance the workforce. Then the 7th one, provide feedback. I have a wonderful book on feedback. Every aspect of human resources feedback. How to get feedback. How to manage feedback. Last year we sold that book many copies. Feedback. Now learn how to, different kind of forms of feedback, different kind of what to ask for in a feedback, different form of things that a feedback can be get. So provide feedback and support. There cannot be a good support without a proper feedback. Very, very important. There can never be a proper support that can be given to an employee without a proper feedback coming from the employee. It is the employee that gives you the feedback, directly or indirectly, knowingly or unknowingly. And then that feedback must be continuous. And how do you make it to be continuous? There must be a regular check-ins. And there must be a regular performance review. I keep telling my client organizations that even once a year performance review is poor. People can change under 3 weeks. If it becomes too difficult for you, do it 2 times. End of June and then December. So that you make sure that your people are on top of their business. You make sure that your people is on top of the actions. You make sure your people is alert. If they know that it comes once in a year, they can relax and wait for that period. So if you run it in February, you can run another one in September or August. Create 6 monthly, biannually. So that is what I mean by offer continuous feedback through regular check-ins and performance review. Regular, let it be regular. There are companies that do it 3 months. Oyibo companies do it monthly. And that is why Oyibo man can employ 500 people in. There is a company in America that employs 1.2 billion people under one roof. Across. So that is why they have mega corporations. That's why they have mega corporations. Everything is practiced. Everything they consult, everything they run it with skill, with knowledge. The second point under this providing regular feedback and support is create supportive environment where employees feel motivated to improve. Provide non-toxic environment. Non-toxic environment where employees will like to be, without using it as a place to start writing another application letter. If you make the employment environment not to be good, to be toxic, they use that and writing another employment letter. Then the 8th one, and actually not the least, but the 80th competence is learn to measure. Many people don't measure well. There is a department in Nigeria called Unit and Measure. Their job is to always make sure that everything that you are scaling is proper. And most time we don't even notice that organization, whether they are still there or whether they are dead, but they are still collecting budget. Now, let the competence skill of measuring things and adjusting be learned also. Assess the effectiveness of competencies in driving performance. Assess what you are doing, the level of progress it is giving you. Assess also whether you are making progress. One day I met one pastor who run a radio program. I asked him, how have you been checking the outcome of your radio program? He said there is no way. I said, you're supposed to have a way to know whether every morning talk you are making is being creating effects. For the first time, he didn't know you're supposed to measure his activity. So whatever you are doing in your performance management systems that you are doing, you should also try to make sure that you measure whether what you are doing is yielding dividends or not, whether what you are doing is yielding the expected outcome or not. Number 2 of it is adjust your training and development initiative based on the feedback you are getting. Adjust what you have for your training based on the feedback you are getting and the organizational change. Every January, every December, consulting companies give you people training program and you people plan for training program. That is fantastic. But then as a person in charge of PMS, now as you see from this feedback you get from the employees, you can adjust what you have planned for a particular employees as training, and also adjust it based on the feedback you receive and the organizational changes. So I will be stopping here for this particular course and then entertain questions.